Hello everyone, Data Pioneer here with the Linux Unix Tech Channel, and I'm in my favorite operating system, MX Linux 23.5 Libretto, January 12, 2025, and today I wanted to give you a presentation of a new web browser I'm using called Zen, and we'll do that and take a look at it right after this. Okay, I'm back, and so let me go ahead and fire up the Zen Web Browser. I've got it pinned to the panel here, and let me go ahead and open it up, and I've got the Zen Web Browser presentation already ready to go, so let me go ahead and just fire up that presentation right now. And so this is a presentation I wanted to do on the Zen Web Browser. Now, the Zen Web Browser is a lightweight, minimalist web experience browser. It's based on Firefox. It's brand new, as far as I can tell. It's got a bunch of developers, and so this presentation is basically going to tell you a little bit about that browser. All right, so what is the Zen Web Browser? Zen, as I mentioned, is a minimalist graphical web browser. It's basically designed for simplicity and performance, and it is very performant, and it's very calming as you get into it. It's amazing. Unlike a lot of the other browsers you get into, like the regular Firefox or Chrome, even Brave. If you got a lot of stuff going on in the background, it's not that it's no bells and whistles. It's got bells and whistles, but it's just a calming experience, very simplistic, and I'll show you that when I get into the actual browser itself. Now, it's built on the GTK Plus and the WebKit GTK. It makes it lightweight and fast, and it focuses on the content first browsing. Has a minimal UI, maximum space for web page. I have my tabs on the left, and I'll show you that when I get in. And it was inspired by the Unix philosophy that do one thing and do it well. So some of the key features of the Zen Web Browser is, again, it's got a minimalist interface with no toolbars, menus, or clutter. Although you've got tabs, but the toolbar is there, but it's just not the typical standard toolbar you see in most other web browsers. I'll demo that when I get into it. The WebKit GTK integration, that's the rendering engine with good modern standard support. The keyboard-driven approach that Zen takes is one that I don't really use, but if you're a keyboard person, then you'll love the Zen Web Browser because it has a keyboard-driven approach. It's designed for users who prefer minimal mouse usage. I'm a mouse user, so I don't use the keyboard shortcuts to that great extent. And one of the other nice features about the Zen Web Browser that I really like is it's built on privacy first. It's a privacy-conscious browser. No telemetry, no unnecessary background processes. So why use Zen? So it's ideal for older hardware, and it's also ideal for user-constrained environments. That's two of the things that the Zen Web Browser is really appears to be good for. It's in beta right now, by the way. It's available for Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. It is in beta for the Flatpak, and that's what I'm using, and I'll show you that. It's perfect for distraction-free web reading and research. That's another good thing about the Zen Web Browser. It's also useful in kiosk mode or embedded systems, and it's a great fit for Linux power users and developers seeking control. and I consider myself a Linux power user. Not much a developer these days, but a Linux power user for sure. And yes, that I have to agree, it's a great fit for that. So how does Zen compare? Let's look at some of the features and compare Zen with Firefox and Chrome web browsers. As far as resource usage goes, Zen is very low as compared to Firefox, according to this chart, which is a medium user, and Chrome a high user. As far as extensions go, Zen is minimal. Firefox is extensive, and so is Chrome. For UI complexity, Zen Web Browser is very low, whereas for Firefox and Chrome, they're both high users of UI complexity. And then when it comes to the privacy feature, Zen is very high, whereas Firefox is medium and Chrome is low. So here are some of the reasons, just looking at the comparisons between these three browser platforms, Zen, Firefox, and Chrome, that you might want to choose Zen over the other two. Installation is very easy. Like I said, I used Flatpak to install it, and I run MX Linux, so it's built on Debian. So you just install Flatpak and then go grab from the website for Zen itself, which I'll show you the link to. I'll put that in the show notes. You can pick up Zen very easily. In my particular case, it was in the repo as a Flatpak, and so it's, my note here says available in some Linux repos that I put in. For instance, if you're running Arch, you can get it in the AUR. If you're running Gentoo, you can get it in the overlay. But it's available in the MX Linux repos as well. If you're running Ubuntu, or if you're running, Fedora, or even Alma Linux, you probably easily get it through the repos. You can also build it from source, and it requires the GTK and the WebKit GTK and standard C development tools. And then you can follow these directions here for getting the source code for the Zen browser. I won't go into that in particular, but you can go back and look at this, review the video, and pick that up from that. Usage and keyboard shortcuts. Some of the common key bindings I will mention here for the Zen browser. If you are a keyboard-centric person, Control L will focus the URL toolbar. Control Q will quit the browser. Control R will reload, and Control T will do a new window with no tab. All right, and so limitations of the browser: has no JavaScript blocking or extensions. Now it does have extensions from the extension store, but not the conventional extensions, and I'll demonstrate some of that. It's limited community and support at the moment, but that's going to probably change as time goes on, because Zen is gaining in popularity, gaining in community, has a pretty fair amount of developer support, as I mentioned, developer base, probably 20 or more people. And so that is there, but the support to the community and to users is not there at the moment. But that should change as time goes on. And the Zen browser is best for users who are comfortable with minimal environments, as I mentioned earlier. Some of the ideal use cases for the Zen browser: it's the Raspberry Pi or embedded Linux systems, kiosk setups or digital signage, as I mentioned earlier. It's focus mode reading and web content consumption, and then again for Linux enthusiasts embracing minimalism. And in conclusion, Zen browser may not be for everyone, but for those who value simplicity and control, it's an elegant option. I like it. In fact, I use the Brave browser, have been for years, a couple of years now. And as I've started using Zen, I can see some advantages that Zen has over Brave that I'll talk about more later. And, someday it may overtake Brave as my daily driver browser. So I don't know for sure, but I'm looking at it. especially as the support avenue opens up, probably leaning more towards Zen. Another conclusion I draw is that it embodies the Unix spirit. It's simple, composable, and transparent, and it's worth exploring for a minimalist or privacy-focused Linux users. So if you fall into that category, definitely give Zen a web browser a look-see. I think you'll like it. Some of the resource links here, I'll go ahead and post those here. You can copy those down. I'll put these in the show notes as well, but I wanted to include them in the presentation. There's one to the GitHub repository, there's one to the WebKit GTK docs and GTK documentation, and then related lightweight browsers, which are like Surf, luakit, and qutebrowser. Alright, so that's the presentation. Okay, so let's go now into the browser, and I'll show you the browser itself. So here I'm going to my MX Linux system, and here's the icon for it. Click on it, and here's the Zen browser. Alright, so I'm actually on another tab, so let me get to the off this tab here. GitHub, bookmarks, settings. Okay, so here we go. So this is the interface, main interface. Let me bring it up to full screen. Close the browser. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, so let me maximize it. And here you got minimize, maximize. So I'm maximizing the browser. And so this is the Zen browser as it's already set up. And so if I click on new tab, I've got containers set up in here, and I've got personal, work, banking, and shopping. If I manage the containers, this is where it comes from. Under settings, okay, there's a containers or container tabs area, and by default you have personal, work, banking, and shopping. Now you can go into the setting and change the color to whatever you want and change the icon to whatever you want. So this is the personal association. It's a blue and an icon that looks like a fingerprint. And if by comparison, if I go to banking, click settings, it's a green one and it's got a bag of money. Okay. Alright, so that's the way that works. And so if I select a new tab and select, for instance, work, then I'm going to go to a different window, a new tab in the browser, and it's going to have the color associated with the work. So if I'm in here in this tab, I know that this is a work-related tab, not a personal, not a banking, not a shopping, etc., etc., etc. You can add, to go to settings here, you can add a new container if you want to whatever, give it a name, give it a color, give it a type. So if I wanted to add, let's say, dining tab, and I can just select the fork and knife, done. And so when I go to add a new tab now, there's one called dining. If I want to delete it later, I can manage the containers and remove the dining tab here. Okay, you can be creative with this. Alright, so while we're in the settings, let me just go ahead and show you around here. So on the general tab of settings, you can do things like open previous windows and tabs, and then there's a tab section here. You can import your browser tab data. There's a tab section where you've got various options that you can select here or deselect. Under language and appearance, you can select automatic or light or dark. Okay, I usually leave it on automatic, although I like the dark theme, okay, which is what I told the Zen browser I wanted to do from the get-go. And so choosing automatic, it stays on the dark theme. I can change the colors, so I can manage the colors here. I can use system colors, or I can override them by unchecking that box. I can override the colors, either never or always or only with high contrast themes. Okay, so I'm just going to say never override. Click OK. Zoom here, I can zoom at 100%, 110%, whatever I want. So here's got it set for 110%. You can select zoom at text only, but there's a warning that comes up that your default zoom is not set at 100%. So may not render the page properly, so you got to be careful of that. Then you got a language selection area. You choose your default language. You can, whatever it is, mine's English, US. You can set alternatives if you like, okay, and you can do translations. Check your spelling as you type, okay, and you can download your translations if you want to do that. If your language is different from your current language, and then save files to your downloads folder or wherever you want to put it. You can browse to wherever you want it to go and put that in. And then performance, you can use recommended performance settings, or browsing you can use auto scrolling, smooth scrolling, etc., etc., etc. All right, and then look and feel. I can choose single toolbar, I can choose multiple toolbars, or I can choose collapsed toolbar. All right, I'm going to select single, which is what I like to use. And then for vertical tabs, I can show new tab button on tab list. I opted to go with vertical tabs. Look and feel, you can choose whatever color setup you want. I choose that one right there. You can manage your Zen themes and extensions and themes. So if I select that button right there, this is the one that's enabled, which is the dark, and that's why the automatic shows dark. But I can do dark or saved or light. All right, and so if I click off of that, if I go down to glance, enable glance, so alt click will give me a quick glance, opening a new tab, and then the Zen URL bar, the behavior, you can change the behavior here to normal, floating only when typing, or always floating. I have mine set floating only when typing. All right, now if you are well, let's go to tab management. So here, workspaces, hide the default container indicated in tab bar is what I've got checked. And then pen tabs, I don't have anything checked there. Enable tab unloader. Keyboard shortcuts, if you're a shortcut person, you come down here and for new tab it's Control T. For undo close window is Shift Control N, but you could change it to something else, whatever you want it to do, and then save it. I think there might be a save option down here where you just get out of it. No, just get out of it, and then whatever you have selected there gets saved automatically. There's a Zen mods section. Now these are modifications to the Zen setup, and I've got 4 Zen mods set up right now. If you want another Zen mod, you go to visit the store, and there are 8 pages of Zen mods, and they're all different, and they all have different functionality, and so you can go through this at your leisure. I'm not going to go through this, and just pick the one you want and then configure it the way you want it. Okay. All right, so let's get out of Zen mods. And then here's the home. I've got Tabless, which is an extension set up. And I'll show you Tabless here briefly. And then for the home page and the new windows, Tabless is what is being used to set that up in home. And then new tabs is Tabless as well. So if I set up a new tab, it'll be Tabless. And then etc., etc. I've got weather set up. And then there is the search. I've got DuckDuckGo as my default search engine. You can change that to Google or eBay or Wikipedia, whatever you want. I don't think you can go beyond that. I haven't found a way to do that yet. There's a privacy and security section that talks about that. You can do either strict or custom or standard. And I've got standard, and it tells you what standard means as opposed to what strict means, as opposed to what custom means. Okay, I would recommend going with standard for now. And then for sync, you can actually sync all your setup for Zen Browser on your whatever default platform you're using. Here for me it's the desktop. And then if you want to go to another computer and set up the Zen Browser, you can sign in to sync and get a sync code, go to that extra platform, pull up your Zen Browser, go to sync, and then sync it to your new platform, and you don't have to do the configuration over again. Alright, so let's go to extensions and themes. Go to extensions tab. I have 3 extensions set up. One of them is tabless. Okay, and if I click this, you can either remove it, report it, or manage it. Alright, so if I go to new tab, you can see that here's what tabless is. All of these are part of tabless. And to access that, there's a little gear up here in the upper left hand corner of the window. Select that, and you can, under tabless, you can change your background, you can change your widgets, time, greeting, which is what this is, date, greeting, city, weather. Here's the weather. Here's IP info, which I have set up as well. This is my WAN IP address, 71.81.221.69 right here. And then search box, and persist the settings if you want to do that. And you can say yes and click the button to persist the settings. You can support tablets through this donation link right here. If I go to quick links here, if I want to add another link to the already existing links that I have here, all I got to do is click this gear and come down to the bottom of the window and click the add button, add link, and then follow the same procedure that I have for the other links, which is fill in the URL, give it a name, and then select the icon you want to use. And voila, if you go out here and click off of that, it closes that interface. So all of these tablets, how that works is this. I have a news program called Ground News that I use all the time. So I've set this up as a tablets interface. So if I open up a new tab, so I don't have to go and find it in bookmarks, I can just click Ground News, and that takes this tab and opens up my Ground News, which I haven't logged into. So let me log into that, and here it is. Okay, so this is my Ground News, and it's in the Work tab. It's a Work tab, and you can see where it says Ground News. If I hover over it, Ground News Work. Alright, and it's pretty much all I wanted to show you here. So let's close settings. Let's close this for now. Here's the add-ons manager. If I want to add a new extension, all I got to do is come up here and find the extension. Let's say I just type TAB. Let's say, let's find an extension. Let's see TAB LET. See if there's one called tablet. Yeah, tablets, one tab, Foxy tab. All you got to do is select it and add. You've done this before with your other browsers like Firefox and Chrome, etc., etc. And just, like I said, Zen's based on Firefox, but it's a lot better than its traditional Firefox as far as ease of use and performance and calminess of the environment and distraction, etc., etc. For readability, it makes it easier to read things on the screen, etc. So you can just find it, add it, just like you normally would. All right. So let's get out of Add-on Manager and search results here. And so what else do I need to show you? Here's the URL or address bar. And so if I want to go to some website that I know a link for, that I don't have set up in tablets, for instance, the VNC Linux Users Group.com. Click that in. So here is a website that I manage, that I set up. And so that's how you do it. And you can just use it just like any other browser. And you can see that you're in the work. It's got the work icon. So it says it knows that I'm in my work tab here. And then you've got a default workspace you can add if you want. You've got a couple of buttons here, connected workspace for wiki and documents. It's a happier workspace, it's called. Then you've got another button here that you can set up, which is, for YouTube. All right, so it takes you directly to YouTube. You can get into YouTube and work with it. Now, there were more buttons than this. When I first set up Zen, I deleted some of the buttons. So when you set up your Zen browser for the first time, you're going to have more buttons than this. All right, so this has been a kind of a look-see into Zen. I like it. Like I said, it could very easily be my future default browser daily driver. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Click the thumbs up if you like it, and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel. And so this has been a preview of the Zen browser. This is a new browser for Flatpak in beta, and a new browser, I think, pretty much all around. But cross-platform for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. So enjoy your day and have a good one. Take care. See you next time.